Get to Old Navy today only. Great gifts like blankets and slippers for the family are just $5, and Adora boots for women, girls, and toddler girls are just $12. Hurry, it ends tonight at Old Navy. Valid 12/14, excludes boys, select styles, in stores only.
You are listening to KLRN Radio, where liberty and reason still reign.
Most writers and radio show hosts know that to connect with your fans, you need to do more than just write books or record the latest podcasts. There are many different elements that go into forming an online platform, but there are also many hidden traps. To make matters worse, solid advice on how to survive the muddy waters is scarce. In the book Hidden Traps, I talk about some of the important issues of working with an online platform, highlighting traps that could put your physical or internet security at risk or be harmful to your reputation. Are your social media posts just links with a few disjointed words, making you look like someone who can't complete a sentence? Did your new website cost you more than you anticipated? Are you leaking your personal contact details across the web without even knowing it? Then you need Hidden Traps. Hidden Traps is now available in paperback and ebook from a variety of retailers, including Amazon, Barnes & Noble, and Kobo. Visit blackwolfpublications.com for more details.
If you're 85 or younger, would you like peace of mind and comfort for your family? We're Final Expense Direct with an urgent message for you. The average funeral today costs over $8,000, but the most you'll get from government benefits is $255. How will your family pay the difference? We can help. Our senior plans start as low as just $1 a day and pay up to $30,000 for a funeral and other final expenses. Peace of mind is easy. There's no medical exam. You'll have lifetime coverage, and your plan can't be canceled as long as you pay your premiums. Call now for free information about our senior plans. Answer a few simple questions and receive approval right on the phone. Plus, call right now and we'll give you a discount prescription card for free. Call 800-553-8687. That's 800-553-8687. Again, 800-553-8687.
KLRN Radio has advertising rates available. We have rates to fit almost any budget. Contact us at advertising@klrnradio.com.
Everyone loves liberty. Our rights come from God, not the government. So why are you letting other people tell you what's best for your health care? Exercise your freedom with Liberty Health Share. Liberty Health Share is a community of people who voluntarily share one another's medical costs. Liberty Health Share is founded on the idea that most people truly want to help one another. Healthcare sharing allows members to do just that as a true community that supports one another in times of need. Liberty believes people should make decisions for themselves and their families. Members are able to take back the freedom to make their own decisions about their health care. Freedom from guilt or doubt about how your money is used. You have the freedom to direct your health care, not to be dictated to by bureaucrats. Stop letting others tell you what to do and join a community of like-minded people. Exercise your freedom. Join Liberty Health Share and take back the control of your health care while helping those around you. Call Liberty at 855-58-LIBERTY. Again, that's 855-58-LIBERTY for more information, or you can check them out at libertyhealthshare.org. Again, that's libertyhealthshare.org.
My son was in the Army back during Desert Storm, but even then he wanted an MBA. He looked at a dozen schools, but only one offered the online education and flexibility he needed while he was in a tent in Iraq. Grantham University. Turns out that Grantham's been delivering affordable, relevant college and advanced degrees for over 65 years. Heck, if they can deliver a quality education to a soldier in a tent overseas, think about the flexibility Grantham can offer you so you can earn your degree too. It doesn't matter how complicated or full your life is. If getting a degree is on your bucket list, you'll want to do what my son did. You'll want to call Grantham. Find out how easy it is to get started on your education so you can check that college degree off your bucket list. Call Grantham right now. 800-910-1370. That's 800-910-1370. Flexible, affordable, relevant. Call 800-910-1370.
At St. Jude, a family never sees a bill at all. It's like the world has been lifted off of your shoulders.
St. Jude Children's Research Hospital. Finding cures, saving children. Learn more at stjude.org.
Sometimes writers feel lost, unsure why a passage may not be working. It takes another set of eyes to help us nurture our writing into full maturity. At Black Wolf Editorial Services, we strive to enable writers to develop and grow, offering manuscript critiques and line edits through a mentoring editorial style. We also offer assistance on generating a writer's bio for your websites. Black Wolf Editorial Services, nurturing your writing into maturity. For a full list of services, visit blackwolfeditorial.com.
You're listening to the Spark Radio Network, internet radio like you've never heard before. Innovation, creativity, and imagination are all said to begin with a spark. So fasten your seatbelt and take the ride of your life and listen for the spark.
Called the USA, and we fly our flag cause we're proud and free, we're Americans. Red, white, and blue is our way of life. Never back down from a challenge or a fight. Nature provides, God gives the rights, we're Americans. We fish the waters and we hunt the lands. We forge the steel with our own two hands. With what we've got, we do the best we can, we're Americans.
This is Rio of Madison Rising, and you're listening to KLRN Radio, where liberty and reason still reign.
It's time now for the Conservative Curmudgeon Radio Show. Now, here's Grouchy.
Good evening, everybody. It is great to be back with you tonight. Programming note before we get rolling, right after me, Jesse's POV. And Rick, you're going to have to correct me because I believe I saw that Stafford Voice will be a replay tonight.
Yes, sir.
Yes, sir. All right. I did it right. And then America Off the Rails, folks. It is the Grand Slam of Conservative Talk Radio every Wednesday night right here on KLRN Radio. So do yourself a favor and stay right here. And it's Wednesday. TV sucks anyway. So anyway, what's happening in the world? Well, here's something you hadn't heard about probably. Apparently there's a discussion going on in Congress about a national concealed carry reciprocity bill. Now, should this bill be enacted, and it is a very big if at this point, you wouldn't think it would be, but it is. It would strike the biggest single blow for gun rights in the United States since the Heller decision was handed down by the Supreme Court in 2008. If licensed visitors from Kansas, Texas, Tennessee, and Wyoming regularly and safely carry concealed firearms in places like New York City, San Francisco, Honolulu, and Trenton, with no fender-bender dispute gun battles and no Dodge City-like blood running ankle-deep in the streets, the arguments against issuing concealed carry permits to those states' citizens will evaporate faster than tax dollars in Illinois. Folks in Illinois, you know what I mean, right? Anyway, the House announced that the Judiciary Committee is going to mark up H.R. 38 tomorrow. Now, when I wrote this down, that would have been yesterday. So I'm sure the markup is still going on. But the press release from the bill's sponsor, Representative Richard Hudson of North Carolina, read like this. Today, United States Representative Richard Hudson released the following statement to the House Judiciary Committee, announcing it will mark up his bill, Concealed Carry Reciprocity Act of 2017, H.R. 38, on Wednesday, November 29th. Oh, it would have been today they're marking it up. Okay, I did catch that yesterday. How about that? Yeah. So Hudson says, for me and the vast majority of Americans who support concealed carry reciprocity, this is welcome progress. I want to thank Chairman Bob Goodlatte for his strong leadership to protect our Second Amendment rights. I will continue to work with my colleagues and President Trump to pass this common sense legislation to protect law-abiding citizens. Concealed carry reciprocity is one of the most important pro-Second Amendment measures that Congress could uptake. Currently, the patchwork of reciprocity laws and agreements between states is confusing at best and has caused law-abiding citizens like Shaneen Allen to unwittingly break the law and suffer arrest and detention. Even the most careful and knowledgeable concealed carry permit holders find it difficult to navigate the current maze of state and local concealed carry laws. H.R. 38 is a common sense solution. The bill, which is supported by major pro-Second Amendment groups and has 213 co-sponsors, would allow law-abiding citizens with a state-issued concealed carry license or permit to conceal a handgun in any other state that allows concealed carry. It would also allow law-abiding citizens of constitutional carry states the ability to carry in other states that recognize their own residents' right to concealed carry. H.R. 38 would allow law-abiding citizens to carry concealed only if they are not federally prohibited from possessing or receiving a firearm, are carrying a valid government-issued photo ID, and are lawfully licensed or otherwise entitled to carry a concealed handgun. So the stuff that you may or may not have seen Ted Lieu tweeting about earlier about why we were going to give spouse abusers and child abusers and assaulter, people that are guilty of assault and battery, he's foaming at the mouth because he can't stop this from happening. That's what his problem is. He doesn't want you to have the freedom to carry a weapon. There's no law that says you have to carry one. He doesn't want you to be able to carry one. That is the difference. So, each person would have to follow the laws of the state, county, and municipality in which they are carrying concealed. For a one-pager on the bill, there's a link. I'll post it later. In District of Columbia versus Heller in 2008, the Supreme Court ruled that the inherent right of self-defense has been central to the Second Amendment right, which is the individual right to possess and carry weapons in case of confrontation. This fundamental right does not stop at a state's borders, and law-abiding citizens should be able to exercise this right when crossing state lines. In addition, Article 4, Section 1 of the Constitution states, "Full faith and credit shall be given in each state to the public acts, records, and judicial proceedings of every other state. And the Congress may by general laws prescribe the manner in which such acts, records, and proceedings shall be proved, and the effect thereof." This is the clause that allows a driver's license to be recognized across state lines. This doesn't seem like it's rocket science here, folks. I mean, if they can recognize a driver's license, why can't they recognize a state-issued concealed carry permit? So, contrary to the misinformation critics spread, under H.R. 38, states would retain their authority to enact time and place restrictions on where people can lawfully carry within the state. In addition, the bill would not make it any easier to purchase a firearm. It has nothing to do with buying a firearm. It would not alter any access to firearms, and it would not change the federal law requiring background checks. So anything you see contrary to that is strictly narrative pushing. Keep that straight. The American people should understand these facts. Okay? And that is why an overwhelming majority of Americans polled over and over again support concealed carry reciprocity. And even the New York Times survey, which you know they're going to lean heavily Democrat in their sampling, came to a 73% approval rate for concealed carry reciprocity. Now, look, you can take this part to the bank. The congressional sausage-making process, it's not pretty. And you can bank on the civilian disarmament industrial complex pulling their metaphorical big guns to fight this one tooth and nail. So as H.R. 38 moves forward, let's be sure we contact our representatives and let them know, and contact our senators too, because this is going to pass the House. There's nothing they can do to stop this in the House. The Senate's going to be a different story, and we've really got to pepper our senators to get this done. So do yourself and your fellow Americans a favor and push H.R. 38 with your representatives. The only way to get it done is for all of us to contact our own people and push them. That's all there is to it. All right, so moving on. We move back. You know, we got all kinds of breaking news today. Matt, the dungeon locking desk button Lauer, fired from NBC News and Today. But I want to go back to Al Franken. Al Franken. Monday, he addressed, I guess, speaking on Capitol Hill on Monday. I guess he didn't address anything, but he apologized for and I get this, okay? This is what he apologized for. He apologized for the sexual misconduct allegations against him. He went on to say that he was not resigning. He also said, "I am embarrassed. I feel ashamed. And what I'm going to do is I'm going to start my job. I'm going to go back to work. I'm going to work as hard as I can for the people of Minnesota, and I'm going to start that right now." So basically, what Al Franken is saying is, screw you. Everybody else in the world that gets accused is guilty, but because he, quote unquote, doesn't remember it the way these women do, and because he's a seated senator, he's cool. It's okay. I got news for you, Franken. It's not okay. So one of the reporters asked him, "You've made it clear that you're not going to resign your Senate seat. There have been a lot of accusations against a lot of people in the conversation lately. In your view, what's the bar for someone like you to have to resign?" I like the question. I wish I knew who asked that question, because I'd try to get them on this program. But Franken responded that he's not going to get into that or speculate on that, and I'm certainly not going to talk to anybody else. Now, what the hell does that mean? So Franken said, "This is what I've been trying to do. I have been trying to take responsibility by apologizing. But the problem is he's not apologizing for anything other than the fact that there are allegations against him. He's not taking responsibility for the photographic evidence that exists. He's not taking responsibility for anything else that has surfaced about him. He's simply apologizing that there are accusations and allegations against him." So really, this is getting the old Democrat sweep it under the rug treatment. It's the double standard. If it wasn't for the double standard, the left would have none at all. And you don't have to agree with me, but how do you refute it at this point? You have people on the left and the right, okay? You have people on the left and the right making statements that a candidate for a Senate seat should have to bow out of the race, and if he wins the race because he said he's not bowing out, that they may not seat him in the Senate. Now, trust me, folks, I'm not a big Roy Moore fan, okay? And I don't know whether the man is guilty of the accusations or not. At least with Franken, there's photographic evidence. And Franken is a seated senator. How come they're not coming down on him like that? The hypocrisy is so great from both sides. It's stomach churning. It really is.
They're not coming down on him because he might like it. Just saying.
Well, okay, there is that. Franken is a bit of a freak. He always has been, though. I mean, if you ever watched him on Saturday Night Live, you could tell he was a freak. I'm not saying he was a sexual deviant back then, but he's just a freak. And, I think there needs to be.
I'm smart enough, and doggone it, people like me.
Yeah, but there needs to be continuity. And don't get me wrong, this isn't Franken's fault, okay? It's not. This is everybody else in Congress's fault. All these other people in Congress, they're raising hell about Roy Moore possibly winning an election with these allegations against him and saying that they may not seat him. But when they have photographic evidence of a seated senator showing that he is definitely guilty of sexual assault, nothing. Nothing. A little admonishment with a slap on the wrist. Nothing. Okay? And now we got John Conyers. Oh, I've been an icon for civil rights and in the Congress for 53 years. I'm an icon. I can get away with this. It'll be okay. No, Conyers, it's not okay. You need to take your sorry ass home. It's time that we get these deviants out of office. That's all I got to say about it, okay? And if Roy Moore wins the Senate election in Alabama, I have absolutely no problem with a full investigation into the accusations behind him by the Senate. At the same time, I expect Franken to get the same. And in the House, I expect Conyers to get the same from the House. Now, I don't know if many of you or any of you actually saw the tweet earlier from a reporter saying that from the time she spent at 30 Rock in New York City, Matt Lauer's desk was one of only about 30 that actually had these locks built into the desk. She said she found it intimidating, but, never, unusual, I guess. She found it to be commonplace there that a lot of the higher ups had this mechanism. I was chatting with a friend earlier, and I was actually chatting with a few friends earlier, and one of them made the comment, can you hear the stampede of lawyers? Because here they come, NBC. You're going to be bleeding out of your wallet like you've never known before. I have a feeling that this is just the very tip of the NBC iceberg, and it's going to get ugly. And it is what it is. And here's let's go backwards a little bit. Let's circle back to the hypocrisy on the left, okay? Because never mind that it's now been two decades, basically, two plus decades of introspective soul searching from people like Kristen Gillibrand in Congress and Nancy Pelosi. Now they're coming out and saying, well, Bill Clinton should have resigned. It only took them 20 plus years of this introspective soul searching to come to this conclusion. Lord help anybody that suggested it back when it actually happened. But Nancy Pelosi, the House Minority Leader, went on NBC's Meet the Press on Sunday. And I'm sure that Nancy thought that she was going to do her usual flow in and Chuck Todd was going to fawn all over her and everything was going to be great and it was going to be a sailing through interview and she would just move right along. Well, I have to give props to Chuck Todd for Sunday morning. Okay, and here's why. She, being Pelosi, defended John Conyers as an icon in our country who's done a great deal to protect women with his work on Violence Against Women Act. Conyers, accused of sexually harassing women on his staff, denies the allegations, but nevertheless resigned as ranking member of the Judiciary Committee until the House Ethics Committee completes its investigation. Now, on Sunday, Chuck Todd asked Pelosi about her defense of Bill Clinton in 1998. So it kind of went like this. Let me just say, the concern that we had then was that they were impeaching the President of the United States and for something that had nothing to do with the performance of his duties and trying to take him out for that reason. Now, Nancy knows this to be a lie because Bill Clinton was not impeached for the sexual allegations. He was impeached for lying to Congress. So we roll forward from that now. It's something incredible that has happened. Nancy started babbling. This is it. Let's go forward. It's incredible that it's been 100 years since women got the right to vote. Here we are almost 100 years later and something very transformative is happening. That is, women are saying zero tolerance. But she's sitting here on Meet the Press with Chuck Todd defending Conyers. So she says zero tolerance in one breath, but then explains why there should be tolerance in another. I wonder if anybody pointed this out to her. Asked why women could defend Bill Clinton but not Judge Roy Moore, Pelosi said in the case of Moore, we're talking about a child molester. Clinton was accused of being a sexual predator, Todd reminded Pelosi. Why don't we talk instead about how we go forward, Pelosi asked. Nobody's proud of President Clinton's behavior at the time, but he was being impeached. Again, not for his sexual behavior. Pelosi said she agrees that the election of President Trump evoked what happened to movie mogul Harvey Weinstein. But she kept babbling about moving forward and what we have to do. So what about John Conyers? Chuck Todd asked her again. Pelosi responded by saying, we are strengthened by due process. Just because someone is accused, was it one accusation? Was it two accusations? She asked. And then she said, John Conyers is an icon in our country who has done a great deal, blah, 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 again. But the fact is, as John reviews his case, so she's talking about John Conyers reviewing his own case of the accusations against him, Pelosi said, which he knows and I don't, I believe that he'll do the right thing. I can't imagine more babbling double talk from this Botoxed buffoon than Chuck Todd wrung out of her in 10 minutes on Meet the Press. Pelosi stopped short of saying she believes Conyers' accusers. I don't know who they are, she said. She knows who they are because they're staffers and former staffers, and she was there while they were there. She knows exactly who they are, and the names have come out. But we've heard nothing more from Nancy Pelosi. Nothing. Now, I wanted to do a big long thing tonight on a very happy occasion, but we're not going to have time for it. So we're going to do a real short thing on a happy occasion. Not necessarily a happy occasion here in the United States, but for humans around the world. And that is that Robert Mugabe resigned as Zimbabwe's president on Tuesday after 37 years of autocratic, oppressive rule, finally succumbing to the pressure of a military takeover and the humiliation of impeachment. The announcement came minutes into a joint session of the Zimbabwean parliament in Harare, convened to get rid of Mugabe from power. You know, he's 93 now. Robert Mugabe is 93. Now, a lot of people don't even remember Mugabe and when he came to power. Sadly, I am old enough. When it comes to examining Mugabe's liberation roots, the focus has usually been on his role in the 70s when the war against white Rhodesia in Africa was at its hottest. His elevation to the presidency of the Zimbabwe African National Union in 1973 is one episode that is frequently cited as an early indication of guile and cold-blooded ambition. At this juncture, most of the party's leaders were imprisoned in Rhodesian jails, and the suggestion is that Mugabe, ever the schemer, engineered a coup against ZANU president Sithole and basically took power while Sithole was in prison. The real story is actually a little more bland. Ex officio Mugabe had been ranked third in the ZANU hierarchy as Secretary General, and he moved into second place after the party's vice president died in prison. By then, Sithole had lost the favor of his colleagues, having disavowed the armed struggle as part of a deal with white authorities. Mugabe assumed the presidency by default when Sithole was formally deposed. Edgar Takere, a founding member of ZANU who escaped with Mugabe to Mozambique in 1975, was among the best informed of Mugabe's latter-day detractors, but even he was apparently unable to connect Mugabe to the direct planning or execution of acts of violence beyond the war itself. Certainly nothing that compared with what occurred after 1980. Takere claims that Mugabe only failed to intervene to commute the death sentence on ZANU rebels in 78. So he failed to intervene to save his own people, is what they're saying. Though he did not oppose Takere's proposal to do so, he just didn't do it. And, this is what it boils down to, folks. Mugabe was oppressive. He basically told people that they were there to serve him, and that if they didn't like that, as the quote-unquote elections came around every so often in Zimbabwe, that his military would be dispatched to encourage them to make sure they voted for him. Isn't that nice? Aren't you glad you live in a country where only dead people vote and you don't get told how you have to vote by people with guns pointing at your head? There is something to be said. Voter ID, baby. I know I push it hard, but I love it. I think voter ID should be mandatory. But anyway, back to Mugabe. Mugabe was this larger than life figure. I mean, really, he put Zimbabwe on the map And, you can hate him for the oppression that he inflicted on his people. He didn't always start that way, though. It's never how they start. Castro didn't start as an oppressive jackass, but he sure became one, didn't he? Much like Castro, Mugabe was revered by a lot of people as a hero. But anyway, after all this time, Mugabe is now gone, 93 years old. Ride out your years, brother. 37 years of autocratic rule. Folks, it is, I've got 35 after that. Sound about right, Rick? About time for the break?
That's where we are.
That's where we are. So we're going to take the break, and hopefully when we return, we will have our guest on the line, and we're going to throw the politics aside for the rest of the show, and we're going to talk about holiday traditions. And we're going to have some fun with this every week until Christmas, bringing on different guests each week. So do yourself a favor and sit tight, because Jennifer Sacco will be with us shortly.
Fly our flag 'cause we're proud and free, we're Americans. Red, white, and blue is our way of life. Never back down from a challenge or a fight. Nature provides, God gives the rights, we're Americans.
My son was in the Army back during Desert Storm, but even then he wanted an MBA. He looked at a dozen schools, but only one offered the online education and flexibility he needed while he was in a tent in Iraq. Grantham University. Turns out that Grantham's been delivering affordable, relevant college and advanced degrees for over 65 years. Heck, if they can deliver a quality education to a soldier in a tent overseas, think about the flexibility Grantham can offer you so you can earn your degree too. It doesn't matter how complicated or full your life is. If getting a degree is on your bucket list, you'll want to do what my son did. You'll want to call Grantham. Find out how easy it is to get started on your education so you can check that college degree off your bucket list. Call Grantham right now. 800-910-1370. That's 800-910-1370. Flexible, affordable, relevant. Call 800-910-1370.
Tired of paying outrageous prices for Viagra? Well, we have great news for you. Now you can finally get Viagra at huge discounts. Healthy Man allows you to save up to $500 on Viagra. Why pay U.S. pharmacy prices of $15 per pill or more when you can get Viagra for less than $3 a pill? Call today and get 40 Viagra pills for only $99. This can cost as much as $600 at your local pharmacy. You can't afford not to call us. If you want Viagra at the lowest prices, never pay $15 a pill pharmacy prices again. Get Viagra for less than $3 a pill. Call 1-800-516-7602 today and save up to $500 and get 40 pills for just $99. Healthy Man is fast, easy, and affordable. Operators are waiting at 1-800-516-7602 to take your call right now. Call 1-800-516-7602. That's 1-800-516-7602. Again, 1-800-516-7602.
Attention business owners and independent contractors. This is a money-saving message from Tax Mediation Services. If your business owes $20,000 or more in taxes, we can help you today, right now. Listen, dealing with the IRS is no picnic. It's an intimidating and extremely stressful process, and you don't want to go it alone. Our attorneys know every law, every tax break, and every possible opportunity to help you resolve and reduce your tax debt. And if you owe more than $20,000, you may be at the top of their hit list. So don't take your tax debt lightly, because it will not go away on its own. The IRS can seize your bank accounts, your home, and even shut down your business. Call our tax experts today at 1-800-783-0810 and let us deal with the IRS while you focus on your business. That's 1-800-783-0810. Again, that's 800-783-0810.
This is Rio of Matt.
You're back, sir. G, are you there?
Rick?
Yes. You're back, sir. Did you not hear the bumper?
Hello, Rick.
Can you hear me? Yeah, boy. Sorry, folks. We seem to be having a communication problem because I can hear him, or I can hear him. I know you can hear him, but for some reason he can't hear me. Hang on just a second. All right, how about now?
Rick, are you there?
Yeah, I'm still here.
Okay, you say you can hear me, but I can't hear anything. I have no idea what's going on here.
I don't know unless it has something to do with that new Skype update of yours. Folks, give me just a second.
It sounds like a dead line on my end.
All right, folks, I know you can still hear me because I can see that you can hear him too. We're going to take a really quick break while
can we put our guest on hold for a second and we can just try to reattach real quick?
I'm working on that now, but you can't hear me, so give me a second.
My son was in the Army back during Desert Storm, but even then he wanted an MBA. He looked at a dozen schools, but only one offered the online education and flexibility he needed while he was in a tent in Iraq. Grantham University. Turns out that Grantham's been delivering affordable, relevant college and advanced degrees for over 65 years. Heck, if they can deliver a quality education to a soldier in a tent overseas, think about the flexibility Grantham can offer you so you can earn your degree too. It doesn't matter how complicated or full your life is. If getting a degree is on your bucket list, you'll want to do what my son did. You'll want to call Grantham. Find out how easy it is to get started on your education so you can check that college degree off your bucket list. Call Grantham right now. 800-910-1370. That's 800-910-1370. Flexible, affordable, relevant. Call 800-910-1370.
Tired of paying outrageous prices for Viagra? Well, we have great news for you. Now you can finally get Viagra at huge discounts. Healthy Man allows you to save up to $500 on Viagra. Why pay U.S. pharmacy prices of $15 per pill or more when you can get Viagra for less than $3 a pill? Call today and get 40 Viagra pills for only $99. This can cost as much as $600 at your local pharmacy. You can't afford not to call us. If you want Viagra at the lowest prices, never pay $15 a pill pharmacy prices again. Get Viagra for less than $3 a pill. Call 1-800-516-7602 today and save up to $500 and get 40 pills for just $99. Healthy Man is fast, easy, and affordable. Operators are waiting at 1-800-516-7602 to take your call right now. Call 1-800-516-7602. That's 1-800-516-7602. Again, 1-800-516-7602.
Attention business owners and independent contractors. This is a money-saving message from Tax Mediation Services. If your business owes $20,000 or more in taxes, we can help you today, right now. Listen, dealing with the IRS is no picnic. It's an intimidating and extremely stressful process, and you don't want to go it alone. Our attorneys know every law, every tax break, and every possible opportunity to help you resolve and reduce your tax debt. And if you owe more than $20,000, you may be at the top of their...
All right, folks, I think we have the gremlins figured out at this point. You guys should be able to hear G and his guest. I'm the producer, so I'm muting my mic now. Bye.
All right. Well, sorry about that, folks. Live radio, you never know what the hell's going to happen, right? So anyway, forget the programming. You know what's on Wednesday nights here. Just stay tuned after my show for a great night of talk radio. And we're going to welcome our guest in now. Jennifer Sacco is with us tonight. Rick, cue the tune.
You're going to make him do that after all that?
I am do that after all that.
Oh, sweet.
All right. So anyway, I figured that's a great way to kick off the holiday traditions.
That's a perfect song.
So anyway, Jennifer, I invited you on tonight because I saw what you were doing for your holiday tradition, and I absolutely loved it. I don't want to steal your thunder. I want you to tell us about what you do for your holiday tradition.
Okay, so 3 years ago, I joined a committee that does a festival of trees. It's a local thing. It's a community thing. Everybody is purely volunteer-based. It's really just a wonderful thing. Nobody gets paid. It's everybody just on their own time, and they're just a great bunch of people. So I decided to join and donate a tree 3 years ago. And the first tree that I did was for my friend who lost her son. He was 9 years old, about to turn 10, trick-or-treating, and a birch tree fell, hit him on the head, and killed him.
Oh, my God.
So, yeah, it was horrific. So we did a memorial tree for Christian. That was the first year, and it was just really nice. They really appreciated it. It was wonderful. We had a great time, so we decided to do it the second year, and that was last year, and my brother passed away. So we did a memorial tree for him. And my dad is from Germany, so we did a German tree. And now this year, Aggie gave me the great idea to do a red, white, and blue tree. So we did a veteran tree. And all the gifts that are underneath are all from companies that either support veterans or are veteran-owned.
Well, that's fantastic. Now, first of all, as a veteran, thank you so much for even thinking of us. Is supporting veteran businesses so important. People just don't get how hard it is for veterans to come back out into the world. So many of them come home broken, and this, I mean, that the fact that you're doing things to support their businesses, that just says a lot, and not just at the holiday season, but any season. So thank you very much.
No, it's my pleasure.
And I don't know if anybody else got to spend the time looking at the pictures you posted of your tree. It was fabulous. And
thank you.
From what I understand, the trees aren't necessarily auctioned or bid on, they're raffled. Is that right?
They are. Yes, they are. So basically, people come in, they pay an admission to get in to just view the trees, and then if you decide, you can buy raffle tickets, and you just put your tickets in a little lantern in front of whatever tree you want to win. And last year, the woman who won my tree, it was just tearjerker. Like, she was crying. She had lost her job, and I had a bunch of gifts under there, like stuff for kids, and she was just so incredibly thankful. So it's just a great thing. It makes you feel good. It's just a good thing to do this time of year.
Well, that is fantastic. I love hearing stuff like that. So, I mean, these trees, you say you put your raffle ticket in front of the one that you want to win. So you don't actually have to just generically take whatever's raffled off. This is cool. So somebody could literally dump money into, the chance to win a specific tree.
Yeah, it generates a ton of money just for the community, because every single dime that is made from this festival goes back into the community, because we're all volunteers. So it's just a great thing. Like last night I volunteered, and it was food pantry night, so anybody who brought in food for the food pantry got a free sheet of raffle tickets. So it is just a great thing for everybody involved in the whole area that we're in.
I really like this idea. I do. I would like to see more of this everywhere. It's incredible, because what I actually read about this festival is over 500 donated trees.
Oh yeah,
That's incredible.
Yeah, Yeah, it's great. It's great. Every year, I mean, there are people that drop off and just, they're too busy or whatever and can't do it, but then we try to get new people, and ours is not as big as some of the other ones, but, it's fine. It does what it needs to do for, the people around here, and everybody seems to enjoy it. It's just a fun thing to do for people to come out. There's different entertainment every night. Not all of it I'm completely fond of, but, I suck it up.
What, we got weird mimes or?
Well, Monday night was the English handbell choir.
Oh,
which is not exactly my thing.
The handbells from hell. Okay.
Yeah, I wasn't completely pleased about that, but these ladies seem to enjoy it.
Well, I guess
it's something for everyone.
It is something for everybody. We can't have everything all the time, and it's the time to give. So, and you gave, you tortured yourself there volunteering. and I didn't even mock that much. That much?
Just a little bit. Just a tiny bit.
Hopefully, they had you close to the wine booth. Maybe I don't.
I was working the door that night, so I was kind of far away.
Oh, what a bummer! What a bummer.
Yeah. Last night, though, I was quite close to the Irish step dancers. That was a little loud.
That could be fun.
Yeah. Oh, yeah. Sure.
Long dancing and.
Yeah, it's great fun.
Oh yeah. Okay.
Yeah, it is. It is though. It's enjoyable. It's fun to see. Like there's a Polar Express night where kids can come and wear their PJs and they view the movie and kids just go crazy looking around at the trees and sometimes run through the trees and rip out wires and take stuff off trees and typical annoying kid stuff. But all in all, it's good fun.
It is. It sounds like a blast. And you said the money all goes back into the community. Do they just have like a preservation society, or what do they?
They choose different things each year. So it might be putting a new walkway in, giving the soccer field a new scoreboard. Just there's something different every year that they choose. People sometimes, petition saying, why they think that they should, give
all right,
some
folks,
of the money.
due to the fact that this show got a late start, we're going to have to cut it off now to make room for Justice POV coming up next. This is KLRN Radio, .com, where liberty and reason still reign. We'll be ending this program now. For those of you who wish to catch the ending, you can always go back to the podcast version that will be available.
It's a committee that does things 4th of July. Like I choose
2 weeks ago.
Sorry,
trying to do this while
and
trying to
I'm still
concentrate
very
on other
minor
things.
in that.
We're out, folks. Stay tuned for Justice POV up next. This is Rick Robinson. I'll be back with you tomorrow night for both America Off Rails and Jen and Rick.
Into it, and it's just